Hello, I've got something cool for you today. I made some sound design puzzles in Ableton that maybe help you with your sound design skills. All you need is Ableton at least 11 and a copy of Serum. And I've made 30 puzzles in total in 3 different levels of difficulty. Let me show you. So this right here is the project file for level 1. And there's one rule here with all of these puzzles. I've only ever used the basic shapes, an oscillator A, B, or both. It'll only ever be a sine wave, a triangle, a saw, a square. Nothing crazy, maybe some warp modes like sync or FM. But especially in level 1, stuff stays very simple. And each of these project files for each level kind of look like this, where on the left you have the final sounds that you are supposed to rebuild, and over here you have step-by-step instructions. So how this works is, for example, let's say number 2 here, the Game Boy synth. The final sound sounds like this. So you can just go from that, open up a Serum, and work your way towards that. Or you can listen to these 4 steps over here, where I go from an init sound to the final patch. And if that's not enough, you can open up the group, and the names of these tracks here tell you what is happening in each step. So step 1 in this case, square shape on the oscillator. Step 2, add a volume envelope. Step 3, assign LFO1 to oscillator 1 octave. And then step 4, just increase the speed of LFO1. So you can look at this too as a help, or you can even open up the serums on each of these steps to see what's happening, what is being modded to what, etc, etc. So with level 1, all those sounds are fairly simple. Sometimes the demonstration clip here plays a few notes just to show a little bit better what that sound is doing. And then you can just go from that, or if you need a little help, you can listen to the examples over here. Sometimes in the last step, some of the effects are added. I want to show you a few more examples from level 2 and 3, but I don't want to give too much away. In level 2, we got kind of a better sounding FM bass. You can see there are more steps to these, because they're getting more complex. We've got a little res type bass over here. And then the steps over here kind of sound like this. Okay, it's just a saw wave. The filter. Resonance. Cutoff being modulated. Bit crusher added. And then the shape that's modulating the cutoff has been changed from a sine wave to a saw, probably. So that can help you to get to the final result, and of course you can open this up again and see the descriptions here that'll tell you what is happening exactly. Some of the other sounds in here are classics like that one, or some pretty synths. And in level 3, for example, you'll learn how to make a classic Reese, or an FM-based Reese, or some really weird stuff like... And again, step-by-step instructions over here, and I hope everyone's gonna have fun with this. I made these initially during my course at Slam Academy for my students as a homework, and I finally got around to finish level 3. You can use those patches also in whatever songs you like, of course, those are yours. Level 1's just gonna be a free download. The whole pack of all 3 levels is gonna be free for anyone who's supporting on my Patreon, and otherwise the whole pack is just gonna be $5 in my Patreon shop, like everything else. I also wish there was like a way to gamify this even more. I remember going on Steam and seeing like a variety of audio software on Steam. There's some cool stuff like MIDiness, where it's like MIDI notes and connecting things with cables, and it kind of looks a little bit like an automation game, you know, like Factorio. I could have sworn I also saw something that was like a modular synth setup, and you had to make a certain waveform. That was sort of the goal. I feel like that would be kind of cool, where it's like, okay, the waveform at the end is the square wave, but there's also this thing happening inside of it that might be FM modulation, and then you have different parts, like, okay, here's an oscillator that's a square, and here's an oscillator that's a sine wave, okay, and then I can FM them over here, and then if I adjust the amounts, I see what the waveform looks like that comes out at the end, and you just try to match it to the one that's supposed to come out at the end, and then depending on how close you get a certain amount of points or whatever, and you unlock new modules. Who knows? That would be kind of cool. I like those puzzle games a lot that teeter on the edge of programming. I think Shenzhen.io, I mean, that's very programming. Also automation games like Satisfactory, Factorio, Shapes, and sort of the flow of these production lines in those games is somewhat similar to a signal flow in a modular synthesizer. Maybe that's why I really like those games too. So yeah, if anyone wants to invent a modular synth-based puzzle game, please let me know. That'd be awesome. But have fun with these and let me know how it goes. I could make more of these in the future if you like them. Bye!